1.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Friday at 4:20. It is so good to have you along. My name is Mike Neighbors, and over the next 40 minutes, we certainly hope to entertain you with our usual guests and a very special guest, and someone who's agreed to return to the show. This will be I think her third visit. We've never had someone agree 3 times. Wow, we'll find out what she's on. Listen, let's get right to it. Let's just jump right in and introduce our panel. As usual, hanging out with me, it's my very good friend and close personal confidant, Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know what, Patrick, very quickly, I just want to touch base with this because if you follow Patrick on social media, and I don't know why you wouldn't, Patrick's really been struggling with this potential third wave of COVID, and he is losing his shit on Facebook. But primarily over the fact that you feel the messaging is mixed. You're getting mixed messages from the government. Am I correct, Patrick?
I'm getting frustrated. It's very confusing. I don't understand the the back and forth that's been happening, but specifically with Hamilton, I don't know exactly which parts of Ontario they just increased indoor dining to 50% at a 50 max. That was everywhere? Okay.
Except the 2 gray zones, except Toronto and Peel, which they allowed patio, but their restaurants still can't have any dining.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, red zones, are 50% capacity.
So they announced it literally overnight. It was 5:30 p.m. and they're starting tomorrow, capacity's increasing, which is kind of shitty for those workplaces, first of all, for preparation and stuff. But also, and then 2 days later, they announced that they're seeing the highest numbers ever. They're anticipating another lockdown. So it's so confusing. And then there was just a doctor on the news today saying that he's expecting the lockdown to start as early as this Friday. So it's and then you hear on the radio, I heard an ad yesterday that's it was this dramatized, this guy saying what everyone says. He's I'm very careful. I wear my mask when I go out. We only go out when we need to, blah, blah, blah. And then you hear this a heart meter in the background, and then it flatlines. And it's you can never be too safe, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you stay inside as much as possible. Only go out for essentials. And then it says this message has been paid for by the government of Ontario. So the same government that just loosened all the restrictions is telling you do not go out unless you need to. So why? I don't get it. I don't understand.
You know what? You're not alone. I just want to say that. I think there's a lot of people watching or viewing Friday at 4:20 are going, yeah, Patrick, let them have it, because it is. It's crazy. Let me just add this point, because I used to work in radio and I don't anymore. Never believe anything you hear on the radio. Okay.
Yeah, maybe they paid for those ads and they paid for them to run for 3 weeks, and they're no, you run my ad.
Yeah.
So it's not relevant anymore, but they're getting their money's worth.
That's right. They just keep those ads running, and despite the changes,
new ones. Yeah.
I don't understand, and I agree with you. And it really was crazy. And I know you've been anxious to get Levity up and running and get going, and everybody wants this. And we're going to talk to our special guest who already started speaking without being introduced, which is fine. She's been in a club where she performed, and there were people there, and it was awesome. So we want to get that going. I really am with you on, I don't understand you suddenly go to 50% capacity when all we've heard is a third wave is coming. That one, I was oh my God. I think Doug Ford wanted to take a large group out to a restaurant, and it was the only way he could make it happen. Listen, he's fallen asleep on us. Let's wake him up. Everybody, please say hello to Manola Santano.
So are we, hey dudes. So is Levity open or not then?
No, it's not. And I'm not going to until I know for sure what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I just predict for you, Manolis? Let me just tell you, because this is important for your future. This is what's going to happen, okay? We're going to lock down again. It'll lock down. It'll be a month and a week or so. And then in May, we'll be past the third wave, and we'll already have started vaccinating enough people that we're going to get past this. So there'll be one more lockdown. And then maybe a few weeks after that, I'm going to say Levity opens June 1.
All right, fine. I'll take it.
And then September 30th, I predict COVID-20's coming. And it's going to be bigger and badder than this one ever was.
I'm doing
a new variant.
I'm doing background work again, right? So what they make us do is you have to go to get a COVID test 2 days before you go on set. So I've done so many COVID sets, like COVID tests in the last little while. I've had more stuff up my nose than when I used to do cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what is going on? I'm like, they're like doing this stuff on my nose. They're like, and I'm like, I'm getting nothing from this, bro.
Manolis gets the note back saying, "Hey, good news, you don't have COVID. Bad news, we found some cocaine from '84."
They might have. They might have.
Listen, we got to get to the show, and that means we got to introduce our special guest, who's already jumped in because she couldn't wait. She loves this thing so much. Everybody, please say hello to one of our favorite people, Lianne Mauladin. How are you, Lianne?
Hello, I'm good. I always think like, oh, maybe I'm not saying enough. I should say something. So
jump in anytime you want. We love having you here. How was Kingston? I said you had performed in front of a crowd, which you hadn't done for some time, and it was out in Kingston. So how would that be? How did that feel?
Yeah, it was great at Absolute Comedy. I hosted there. It was they're open there Thursday, Friday, Saturday night with a like half capacity crowd, I guess. But the guy who runs those clubs he's actually like really a germaphobe type guy even before this hit.
Nice.
So I feel super safe doing his clubs. Like that is one benefit. Like there is sanitizer everywhere. They moved so that the comics don't have to be in like a little closed space together, like, or sit in the area where people are sitting and eating or whatever. Like they kind of did a little reconstruction, so there's an area for the comics to sit, and they've got the plexiglass at the front, which is weird. I mean, it's better than telling jokes on Zoom, but it's weird because like I guess the glass is so like there's no reflection for the audience, but when you're on the inside there's a reflection, but it's like larger than life. So like your head is like 4 or 5 times the
like
size,
a clown mirror.
and it's just like this big like you looking back at yourself through the whole thing.
The audience in the plexiglass may appear larger than they are in real life.
Yeah, very distracting. So but it was great. It was great to be back up, and I felt really rusty my first night, but I think everybody is, especially people from our gray zone.
So the question I wanted to ask, Lianne, is once you got out there performing, it was a half capacity or lower capacity audience, which is likely what Levity will see when it first starts to reopen. But I'm anxious to know how anxious people were to laugh. Did you get a sense from the crowd that they were just so happy to be there, to be doing something like this?
Yeah. For the most part, like I think, people they want to go out, and it was mostly tables of like 4 or 2. There were a couple larger tables, but just like a lot of couples, and it's like something to do, right? And somewhere to go on a date or whatever, right? So I think everybody was really happy to be there. There were a table of 6 young women from Coburg celebrating a 21st birthday. So that's not a good time usually. And it wasn't. I was upset because I had to say something to them, and I hate it when I have to say something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Be quiet, you mean? They were talking through the comics, you mean?
Yeah, like it was kind of like I thought I had them under control by just being their friend and stuff. And then I'm about to bring Frank up, and like,
I'd rather you heckle me.
Talking through my last joke, and I'm like, no, this is not how I'm going out. Like, no. Yeah. So let's just back this up. And I dealt with it and finished my joke, and then I brought Frank up, and they were all right. But they apologized after. Like they're just those like people who had too much to drink, and then they just.
When you're turning 21 and you live in Coburg, you don't have much to live for, really.
I know, and that's what I said to them. I'm like, you guys drove a long way for this. You should maybe listen.
You're dating them.
I don't know.
You're trying to control us.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our game. Lianne's been kind enough to play along. We have 12 random topics in these 12 random envelopes that I stole from Bell Media. And we're going to begin with, Lianne, your first topic on this Friday at 4:20, topic number 11. They are in random order, so you got topic number 11. Lianne, this is an interesting question. I don't know how much you use your your cell phone, how big you are on your cell phone and like attached to it. But I do want to know, what's the best app on your phone? What's the one that you go, and it could be a social media app, it could be an app you play around with or you record things with, whatever. What's your favorite app on your phone?
Well, okay, like I'm on Instagram all the time.
You love the Insta, do you?
Constantly, yeah. That's my favorite social media for sure. But
let me ask you this then: if you're on the Insta,
I have a little collage making app that I like to use too. It has different filters for pictures, and you can make little groupings. But I actually keep it pretty simple. I just am on Instagram a lot.
Can you tell me the difference? And I asked my daughter this because I didn't fully understand. She had her own impression of what it was, but I'm going to ask you, what's the difference between posting to Instagram and posting to your Instagram story? Like, I realize they are different things, but do you use both, or do you just go, oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get story at all.
Okay, so story is just 24 hours.
No.
And it disappears after that unless you want to save it in your highlights, and then it can stay in your highlights, which is on your profile page. But I think stories are good because you don't want to be posting everything permanentely, but stories just like, I don't know. They remind people
I agree
you're
with that.
alive.
It's kind of like, this is what I'm doing right now. It's
Yeah.
not a huge deal, but like, it's kind of cool. Check this out. And then it's gone.
So you guys both use stories as well?
I don't use them too much, but for the club we did, like especially during shows, we'll post like from the Levity account, just quick like a boomerang video or something of someone on stage, or especially if you include material, you might not want to leave it up, in case the comic doesn't want that. But it's just like a little highlight, like check out what's happening right now.
Do you use stories, Manoli?
Bro, I do them both. I don't care. Like
He'll do the same post as a post and a story.
Yeah. Right, Patrick?
Yeah, that's not annoying at all.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Try being your friend, okay? I'm fine. Trust me.
Lianne, when you look at Instagram and you're just doing some scrolling, do you look at Instagram posts or do you look at stories? Because this is the interesting thing to me. Some people are just story viewers, which means they're never going to see my Instagram post. And then some people are Instagram post viewers and never going to see a story.
Yeah.
I think it's just confusing as hell. I'm trying to get something out there. I want people to see something I've created. And it's like, so I'm with Manoli. Put them on both.
Yeah. And then
Thank
you can see who's viewed your stories. Okay. So often the same people who view your stories are the same people who's liking your posts anyway. But there are definitely some people who say like, oh, I don't look at the stories. I look at both. I look at both.
What I need more than anything in this world is a girlfriend that's just so she can be like that I actually like. And then she's going to look at my Instagram. It's like, you follow like 1,000 hot chicks. And I'm like, yeah, can you delete them, please? And I'm like, and I'll be like, thank you. I need a reason to get rid of them because and Pat, one time he's looking at my phone at Levity and he sees it's like all these hot chick after hot chick, like showing off their boobs and stuff. And he goes, no wonder why you jerk off all the time.
Yeah. And those were in his camera roll. They weren't even like Instagram.
Oh, you just see my camera roll. I don't know.
Yeah,
I save them.
They're all screenshots.
I save them like, I don't know, like, because I think in my head, like, they're going to delete them one day, and I still have this awesome picture.
That's the thing, Mike. Instagram stories are 24 hours unless Manola screen caps it. Then he has it forever.
Yeah. Screen cap.
All right.
I'm the only one, right, guys? The only guy with a browser's hoodie, right?
That's you. You absolutely are, Manolis. Patrick, what's your favorite app on your phone?
Honestly, since the pandemic and stuff, I haven't. I've been using those less and less, like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I hardly ever use at all. But my favorite one right now is Discord. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a community server chat thing. I got into it because of Twitch, so like there's all these Discord servers, like you can join other Twitch streamers and stuff. But you can use it for everything. I started using it for like some work related things, but it's like a built-in everything. There's chat, there's video calls. It's basically like FaceTime Messenger, all that stuff built into one app. So.
But it has a real negative tone to the name, Discord.
Discord?
That's probably what. Yeah, that probably attracted you. Facebook's nice and light and airy, and
yeah.
Sounds
Discord.
like you're in trouble.
I belong to Discord. And Manoli, what about you? What's your favorite? I don't even. Is there an app for that?
I think I like Facebook just for the simple fact the most because, like, I could post a video on Facebook, and it might get like, I don't know, it could like get 2,000 views, and then you post on Instagram, it might get 1,000. Then you post on Twitter, and it gets 4.
I hate Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I just got a TikTok account, and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell's going on there. I feel like I'm just walking through a jungle with the blindfold on, right? But I don't know. I think you know, I don't mind. Like, here's the weird thing. Like, as much as I like looking at the hot chicks on Instagram, but I also appreciate it when they're doing something more. Like so the TikTok goes to the Instagram, right? These so many white girls that are like really hot dancing, and they're horrible dancers, but like they got these nice bodies. So you're like, okay, I'll pretend that I'm with you. Yeah, you can't dance, but Lianne, you actually do something. You're like, you do these cool things on your
roller skating.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is cool. Like, I'm like, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like,
do you TikTok, Lianne?
I don't TikTok, and
Okay.
I should, but it's just like, I hate that whole getting into a new social media, and then you have to get followers and follow people.
Whether
But
you
I
go to
bet-
TikTok, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, the roller skating thing on TikTok would probably be like a huge niche thing that.
It probably would
There's
be
a
huge.
lot of roller
Yeah.
skating out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly people in California, but there's some really cool videos. Yeah.
TikTok's the one that you will really go down a rabbit hole. If you start flipping through TikToks, man, you like literally 4 hours later, you'll be going, what the hell just happened in the 4 hours? Like, I find it is the most intoxicating because every time you flip, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
Because there's no, like even Instagram, you get used to it. Manoli, you know, another girl showing off her boobs, another girl showing off her boobs. I mean, there's some, you know,
But
similarity.
not her nipples. You can't show your nipples.
Never their nipples.
You can't, you're not allowed to see them unless it's under clothing. So I checked the
That's
rules.
right. There's ways around it.
That's right. So, but TikTok is like, you just don't know, right? It's like a magic trick, and then it's somebody showing you how to do a hack on a computer, and then it's somebody. I mean, it is a pretty weird world out there. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But just Manolis, do you use any dating apps? Like, what is your favorite dating app? What do you?
I never got farther than Bumble, but I used to have Tinder and Bumble, and then about 3 months ago, I just had this moment of maybe clarity, I guess, or I don't know what it was. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, it was just wasting too much time because I knew I was never gonna hook up with any of these girls. And like, if I did, like now I'm not a texter, right? So now it's like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, God.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I gotta type Manolis into my phone.
Yeah, you thought it would just be like you match, and now all of a sudden you're banging.
I can come over and we bang. Like, no, but it's like
just
not,
automatically
Yeah.
text her your address.
yes. So it's like ordering. Yeah, it's
And
like
it's
ordering
fine.
pizza.
Yeah.
I think that
But
one's
no.
called Grinder. Actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That I killed it on Grinder, dude.
Yeah, he gets laid all the time now.
I just gotta lie on my belly and put on a wig, and I'm good.
We gotta throw another topic out there. This Friday at 4:20 with our special guest Lianne Mauladin. You can check her out at Joke Lady Haha, and we're gonna give you information as well. Lianne has released an album for streaming, an album of her bestest comedy, and we want to make sure that you download that and check it out because it is absolutely hilarious. But we will let you know more about that after we ask this topic of Patrick Coppolino. What's your favorite way to listen to music, Patrick? If you have to listen to some music, what's your favorite way to listen to music? Do you listen off your phone, off your computer? Do you have a radio? What do you do?
Normally my computer, and I just have either Spotify playing in the background of whatever I'm doing.
Okay. You use Spotify? You like Spotify?
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, that's it.
You're just kind of.
I just pick, but I don't. I'm not a huge like my whole life, and people are like, what kind of music do you like? Or like, I'm terrible with like bands. Like I know a lot of songs, but I don't know what they're called or who sings them. You know what I mean? But now I use Spotify, and I just go by mood instead of like, I don't look up specific artists or genres. I just go, there's
Always
mood
sad?
ones. Yeah. Just
Always
sadness,
sad.
doom and gloom, all the hits.
You know what? Your take on music is really a lot like your take on life. I know a lot of things that are going on, but I just don't know what any of it's called.
Yeah. Jazz. I listen to jazz mostly.
Mostly jazz.
I do.
Excellent.
Love jazz.
Manoli, how do you listen to music? What? I mean, I know that you spent several hours as a young man cutting together all the screams of David Lee Roth on cassette. You don't still listen to cassettes, do you?
I would if I had one in my car, but sometimes mostly right now I'm listening to. I like to if I really love the album, and I'll get my hands on it, and just so I can listen to it in my car. If I had like a newer car where I can listen to Spotify through the dashboard, I probably would use Spotify more often.
Okay.
But right now I'm just using what I'm doing is because I got too many albums. I have like 1,000 albums, so I'm listening to all my music. Like every day I listen to a different album, and I'm trying to really focus into like, do I want this? Because I got too many albums and I want to get rid of them. So like there's like I got like 5, like I know I've said this on the show, but I have like 5 White Snake albums. I don't even know how I got them, dude.
Even the guys in Whitesnake don't have 5 of their albums.
You know, but I like.
didn't even name 5 White Snake songs.
But like, there's one. My favorite one is "Slide It In." It's just so horrible.
Oh yeah, slide it in.
He goes,
right
there's like,
on the
slide.
top.
I think the song's called "Slide It In." He goes, "Slide it in, right to the top. I'm gonna slide it in. I ain't never gonna stop." He goes, "I'm gonna slide it in, slide it in, slide it in." Like, why do I need that? Why do I need that song? What is going on in my life that I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling really shitty today. I need some "Slide It In" before I hit the road. Like I'm wasting. I'm throwing. But I got like my AC/DC albums or like with my Cult albums, certain like albums like that. I don't want to get rid of my Zeppelin albums. But like I got so many other weird albums that I'm like listening and I'm like out the door. I gotta. I'm trying to what do you call it when you're like
Declutter.
minimalist?
Minimalist.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I want to get it down. I want to get it down to like if you came over and you put any album on and you're like, this is sick. I don't want you to. Lianne to come over and like slide it in. Really? Like I had to get like about 4 months ago. I had to get rid of all I had like 10 Bill Cosby albums because I didn't want to bring. What if I brought a girl over and she's like Bill Cosby? I'm like, listen,
Okay, yeah.
just have this drink and then we'll listen to it. Like
Listen,
I donated all my Bill Cosby albums.
To who?
Valley
Who
Village,
took 'em?
bro. They don't look at
Value
it.
Village doesn't care.
They don't care. I'm like, I give them a couple albums. There's one of their albums, I swear to God, Bill Cosby's called "It's True, It's True."
You should have kept that one.
I should have kept that one. I should have framed that one.
One of them was recorded in Hamilton.
That's not the one, but there is
No,
one that's recorded
himself.
in Hamilton.
It's called Bill Cosby himself.
So let me just say, Manolis, thank you, by the way, for that explanation, especially the take on Whitesnake. Let me just say this. You have to keep now the Slide It In album, because if Lianne ever does come over, she is definitely going to request that you play the Slide It In album.
If I go over to and I hear that before I get inside, I'm like, oh my God, he is getting pumped, man. He's got to slide it in.
Imagine you came over my like say like you were just like we just met and we were like I got you over to my house. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna put some. You think I'm gonna put some like wicked jazz or something Jack Kerouac, something really cool, you know? And then all of a sudden I'd be like, you hear Slide It In, you're like, no, I think I'm gonna leave.
Yeah,
I think I gotta go. Danger, yeah,
I think
dangerous.
I would like you better than if you put jazz on. I'd
You
rather
like-
have
you want-
Slide It In.
You put your roller skates on and then we'll just roll around the house.
And shoot TikTok videos. It'll be great.
All right, I'm keeping it.
Leanne, how do you listen to music on the day-to-day? Are you an audiophile? Do you just listen off your phone? What do you do?
I listen to live music. I have people come and perform for me.
Wow.
And that is my favorite way to listen to music, though.
Yes.
And I can't wait for summer for that. But
Mhm.
no, you were talking, you said if you had a tape player in your car. I have a broken CD player and the radio in my Jeep, and no Bluetooth anything. So I listen to a lot of, like, whenever I'm driving, I listen to the radio, and I like radio. I like the element of surprise of what's coming next. I like flipping around and trying to find the song that I like. I don't know. It's just like, and especially like if you drive up north, like the stations all kind of change, right? It's like classic rock or country, right? So you kind of know where you are depending on what you're listening to. I don't know. Like it's almost like somebody from radio asked me to say that on the radio, but they didn't. I really
do you like? I love listening to Coast to Coast. I love listening to AM radio like at 2 a.m. You ever listen to that stuff? Where like they're talking. Oh, there's like these guys like Coast to Coast. What's the guy's name from Coast to Coast?
Art Bell.
Art Bell. He'll like have someone like with a story about how he got abducted by an alien, and he'll tell his story.
Yeah, those are
Coast is all
like
about
ghost stories and aliens.
It's so good, dude.
It's quite fascinating. If you're alone in a car driving like across the prairies and you're listening to that stuff, man, that will freak you the hell out.
I love it.
It's creepy stuff. Lianne, you mentioned your Jeep, and I wanted you to explain to the Friday at 420 audience just what Jeep ducking is. And yes, I did say it correctly.
Yes.
What is it?
So this is a thing that so I got ducked one day, and basically I was driving by another woman in a Jeep, like a Wrangler style Jeep, right? And she like held out this duck, and she's like, duck, duck, Jeep, here, like go to like hashtag duck, duck, Jeep, right? So I'm like, oh, cool. Like, you know, Jeep people are friendly, right? So she gives me that. And so I went online. If you go to it, this woman who lives in like part-time in the US, part-time in Washago, Ontario, started this thing just since COVID happened, like just leaving little rubber ducks on other Jeep owners' Jeeps, right? So I like totally loved it and checked out the site. And, like a lot of people are doing it, and then you just like order a bunch of little rubber duckies and you drop them off. So yeah, so in my story today, I have a ducking that I did. Yes. But so it's
such a weird.
It's just kind of a fun Jeep community thing.
Wait, you ducked someone today?
Yes,
I did.
That's hot.
At lunch.
Leah, it's funny because the Jeep community is a little bit different. And one of my favorite stories, I have a really close friend of mine who's a serious introvert, and he buys himself a Jeep. And as he's like coming out of the showroom and he's like getting in the Jeep, and then the salesman says, "Hey, by the way, you're going to have to learn the Jeep's wave." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Well, every time you pass a Jeep, you have to wave at the other Jeep." And he goes, "I'm not waving." Like that, just like he does not want to do that. And I thought it was so funny because the Jeep community does that. Much like the motorcycle guys, when they pass, they do the low wave.
Right.
Yeah, it's like kind of the same. It's like 2 fingers, but on bikes it's like low 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Jeeps it's like high 2 fingers.
2 fingers, so.
But it's
and now ducking.
Like, I heard somebody saying that before too. They're like, I got this Jeep, and then everybody starts waving. I'm like, sell it then. Like you shouldn't have it.
Poor you, right? People are saying hi. Poor me.
Oh, all right. It's Friday at 420. Lianne Mauladin's our special guest, and we have another topic now. We are going to Manolis with this one. Topic number 6 for those keeping track at home. Another phone question. This is weird. I don't know how this happened, but anyway, we'll ask it. They're random topics. I can't control that. Where do we stand on phone calls, Manolis? Phone calls. So you said earlier you're not much of a texter. How do you feel about phone calls? There's a lot of people who have phones, and they're actually called phones, but they don't ever use them as phones. They use them for all kinds of other things.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about actually holding it up and having a phone call?
Well, I would just plug my headphones into my phone and talk like this, but I prefer talking on the phone. If you ask Patrick, he prefers not to talk to me at all. And in any form, right?
But I'm going to ask Patrick in a moment, so
yeah,
we'll find out. But how do you feel about phone calls?
I prefer talking on the phone. And like I just realized the other day, I didn't know that. I can't believe that I learned this because Patrick, yesterday I gave you a voice memo instead of texting.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that till yesterday.
Oh, so you recorded your message for him and then texted it to him.
Yeah. But I was like, I used to get them all the time. And never once did I thought in my head like, I wish I could do that, but I never, because I never took the initiative to figure out how to do that. And I looked, and then someone says, "Oh, you can just hit the thing." I'm like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" So that's changed my life. But I think like if it was up to me, man, like if I was in control of like at least Hamilton, I guess, or like at least maybe Canada, I would make it law, man. I would ban text. I would get rid of it all.
You hate texting.
Well, it's just enough's enough, guys. You know, let's have a conversation. Let's talk a bit. You know what I mean? Like,
it also you should be clear with the audience. It also exposes your lack of ability to spell.
Yeah, even if I was the best speller in the world, let's pretend I am. I still don't want to do it. Even if I was the best texter in the world, like if I was good at using all my fingers, blah, 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 blah. Who cares, man? Let's have a conversation. Should we do this show right now through text? Hey, let's just text everything on this show, and everybody can read our 4 thoughts through the 40 minutes that we're on this podcast. No one would listen. Idea. No one would watch.
He has a point. It wouldn't be a very good show if we were texting this.
Especially when it's my turn.
We should try that one week.
We should.
But like, it just drives me crazy because like it's not that hard to have like. Here's the thing: like, I text Patrick, I text you, I text anybody, and it's like sometimes maybe there's like they could get back to me right away, or they could get back to me tomorrow. Like, how's that even make sense to anybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, so if I needed like 911, and I'm like I call, like, because I call you, you're like, you'll hang up on me, and you'll be like, why are you calling me? Text me. I'm like, imagine I called 911. I'm having a heart attack. Click. What? And I get a message. Excuse me. Why are you calling me? Please text what you need. Like, I'm like, okay,
Emergency
I'm dead.
Services.
I'm dead. Bye.
Thank you. Before we get to Patrick's retort, I'll give you a moment to think on that. Lianne Mauladin, how are you with phone calls? Do you like to actually talk on the phone with your friends and family, or would you prefer to text them?
I like to talk because I also voice text all the time.
So that's the voicemail text,
everything.
Right? Yeah.
So I just say it, and then I don't really enunciate very well, so I have to go back and make all my corrections and then send it. But if it's I like to do the voice texting rather than actually typing it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll
talk to somebody on the phone. I don't like the FaceTime. Like, if I know it's coming up, that's fine. But don't try and FaceTime me at 10:30 at night or something.
Yeah, that's FaceTime. Unless you're in an actual relationship with someone, yeah, FaceTime. What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Get the hell out of here.
Lianne, you do have to speak very clearly if you want to text that you were out Jeep ducking today.
Yes.
Yes, be very clear. Patrick Coppolino, how are you? I mean, Manolis, I kind of gave the answer away. You really don't like talking on the phone.
No, I do not, and he shouldn't take it personally. I'm like that for everybody.
I don't.
I'm an introverted person. I don't like talking in person either. I like being alone. I like being in my own head. I'll text someone. I can text someone. Like, this is fun for me because it's planned and there's a cap on it. And I know it's gonna end soon. Phone calls, I don't know when they're gonna end, and that's what bothers me the most. Because a call will always start about something, and then it turns into a million other things that I do not want to talk about. I just want, and I'm too nice.
Go, all right, then.
I know I can't do that. I'm the worst. I will be on the phone until the other person decides the call is over. That's how this works.
But when you're all drunk, right? Then you want to talk all the time, right, Patrick?
Right, buddy? Right, little buddy?
Hey, you know what he did to me the other week? You know what he did to me, Mike? So he's like, hey, he did some drinking thing for some, I don't know, whatever. He's like, come on. He's like, come on down. Like, let's hang out. I had a few beers with me. I'm like, okay. It's like, I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like paying for the Uber. I'm like, I'll pay half. Just come down. So I go there. I'm there for like maybe an hour and a bit. He gets too drunk, passes out. and I have to go home. So I take an Uber there, talk to him for maybe 20 minutes. He has to go to bed now. I got to Uber back. Hey, guess how much money you gave me for the Uber? 0.
Oh, I forgot. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you will. How about
Take it
just
out of
call
your
me?
poker winnings.
Just call me, Patrick. Give me your friendship. That's all I want.
Listen, I always get excited about doing this show when I know that Lianne Mauladin is going to be one of our guests, because you are so much fun, Lianne, and we love having you on. I want you to talk to us a little bit about your album. It's been out for a little while now, right? All the streaming services, anywhere you want to go. What are we looking for?
Yeah, it's on iTunes and Bandcamp. If you go to cottagecomedy.com, they've got all of their albums there, so you might find other albums by Canadian comedians that you want to check out. So it came out on my birthday, and it's called Late for the Party, and it's doing all right. So
Great name.
It's been sent out, like it should be starting to hear it on the air soon. But it's out to purchase for sure.
How was it? Was it? I just want to know if it was different having something, because this is your very first time putting a recording out of material that you've done. Did you perform any of that material when you played in Kingston? Was it? I just think that would be just kind of a different kind of scenario, right? All of a sudden, something's kind of out there in a permanent form, and now, do I do it? Do I not do it? Do I change it? How'd you approach that?
Yeah, I certainly didn't want to do all of it, because I want to say to those people, like, yeah, buy my album, and I want them to hear something a little different. Yeah. So yeah, I did a little bit. Like you like to really like open strong, right? So right. I kind of started with some of that, like just to open, but consciously tried not to do that. Yeah. And that's part of why I wanted to record that, because I wanted to be like, okay, now I'm gonna, like, some of those jokes were really old, and now I'm just gonna like force myself to come up with some new jokes. So this is not the most inspiring time for creativity, I don't feel, but I'm trying. I think I have a type 5.
It's more than
Late for the Party. Please check it out on all the streaming services, or go to cottagecomedy.ca. cottagecomedy.com or .com, and check it out. And we'd love for you to download Lianne's album, and it's very, very funny. So thank you so much for doing the show again, Lianne. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
It goes by fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Patrick Coppolino, you've got no update for me. Levity's still closed. Probably will be until next September.
Levity's still closed. Follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/PatchcoTV.
You can also find him as one of the originals on Discord.
On Discord, instead of a follower, they call him a stalker or something.
The angriest
I'm stalking you on Discord.
Yeah.
Manoli, what do you want to say, buddy?
Buy Lianne's new album.
Excellent. Yes.
How do you? What is your Instagram handle again?
Joke Lady Haha.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the screen. It's on the screen as well.
Yeah.
And Lianne, can you spell your last name for people? So like that's is where they would go to.
It's also
iTunes?
on the screen.
All right, I apologize.
No, but if they're listening,
everything I
you
said.
aren't looking at the screen, so I'm gonna spell it.
Yeah, I'm an asshole. Go ahead.
Lianne Mauladin, Mauladin. And then that information is also, if you just Instagram or Twitter me at Joke Lady Haha, then you'll find the link.
And it's everywhere. You can listen to you on Spotify, iTunes, and you're going to be on, I'm guessing, XM Radio also?
Yes.
Yes, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you doing Friday at 420. It's been awesome having you. Manolis, one more time for the kids who didn't hear it earlier in the show, could you please share with us a little bit of your impression of Whitesnake singing Slide It In?
Slide it in, right to the top. I'm going to slide it in. I ain't never going to stop. I'm going to slide it in, right to the top. I'm going to slide it in, slide it in, slide it in.
Oh my God, I'm never coming back.
Poetry.
Coincidentally, you're not the first person who said that. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this Friday at 420. We really appreciate it. Don't forget, all the old episodes are available on all the streaming services. Just look up Friday at 420. You can find Lianne's previous appearances on the show, and we'd love for you to download and listen to those because they're a lot of fun. Remember, we're here every Friday at 420, and now it's time for the weekend. So get out there and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Woo!
Woo!